afternoon and welcome to the funeral service and indeed the celebration of a life well lived of Harold Harry George Smith, dearly beloved son, brother, husband, father and grandfather. In terms of housekeeping for today's service, the toilets are by the entry gate to the right, so just behind us there to the right. There are some more seats here to the front if anyone would like a seat. If we can please have all mobile phones switched to silent or vibrate for the duration of the service, that would be appreciated. On behalf of Harry's family, they would like to convey a heartfelt thank you to everyone here today for coming and helping to celebrate the life of Harry Smith. Your attendance and show of support here is greatly appreciated. The family would like to specifically acknowledge the attendance today of Harry's younger brother, Vernon, children, Tempest, Adrian, Christian and Eric, and grandchildren, Zale, Dylan, Kai and Fletcher. Also his dearly departed wife Marion and his parents Phyllis and Ronald Kilpatrick and sister Joyce. Today we all gather to mourn the passing of Harry Smith and to pay tribute to his life. I'm sure that Harry would not want you all to grieve in hurt or pain, but to recall his life well lived and enjoyed with respect and happiness, remembering the joy that he has given, has received, and has shared with each of you in one way or another. And so today we say goodbye and thank you to Harry and celebrate a family legacy and importantly a life well lived. As a tribute to Harry and his passion for deep sea fishing, we will now play the Fisherman's Prayer by Butch Lemon. An apt piece for Harry and his passion for fishing. Now the eulogy will be delivered by eldest daughter, Tempest Smith Brown. That's okay, Tempest. I'll read the eulogy on your behalf. My dad Harry, as he was most commonly known, was born in Portland in Western Victoria in 1948 to parents Ronald and Phyllis Kilpatrick, who were renowned Western District sheep farmers. My dad as a teenager started assisting on the farm and assisting neighbouring farms with droving and taking sheep to market, but deciding that there was more to life than sleeping by the roadside and worrying about livestock, at the age of 20, against his parents' best wishes, my dad packed his swag and headed to the tin fields of Marble Bar in the Pilbara region of Western Australia. After trying his luck for a year or so in the tin fields, his good rapport with people on the land soon saw my dad scouted by BP Fuel. After a short stint as a casual sales assistant with Port Hedland BP Fuel Terminal, Harry was soon identified for promotion and went on to be the Pilbara area salesperson for BP. It is a role he filled diligently for over 30 years. The annual bush dance of May 1972 was a special event for my dad, as that was when he was first introduced to my mum, Marion Thomas. After an introduction by a work colleague from BP, Harry and Marion, by all accounts, danced the night away. After that, they were barely inseparable. A whirlwind 10-month on from the bush dance, Harry and Marion married each other in front of a small audience of close friends at the Uniting Church, Port Hedland. Shortly after, Dad and Mum welcomed me, their first child in 1974, followed by my brothers, Adrian in 1976, Christian in 1979 and Eric in 1982. The arrival of us kids also coincided with the 1970s, which saw substantial takeoff of the iron ore industry in Port Hedland, and at this time my dad had to do a significant amount of travel between Port Hedland and Mount Whaleback as part of his role for BP Fuel. Though all the BP Fuel salesmen would speak with fondness of coming to Port Hedland and their legendary dinners my dad and mum would host when any BP salesman or staff came to Port Hedland. Despite Dad's hectic work and travel schedule, Dad was always a family man at heart. He loved taking us out fishing each weekend. The picnics and time spent at Pretty Pool are still fondly recalled by all us children. As the mining in the Pilbara started to settle and Dad's travel lessened, this timed in with Dad's first boat purchase, a small runaround tinny affectionately called High Tide. This mainly helped Dad fish in and around the mangrove creeks and in the harbour of Port Hedland. As we kids went on to high school, Dad started to be interested in larger boats. Dad's excuse was that we're all getting bigger and he needed a bigger boat so that he could still take us out each weekend fishing. It was also his taste of being on the sea grew, so did his desire to go further out of the harbour and out on the open seas to fish. Many of you would know my dad was a foundation member of the Port Hedland Fishing Club. His love of the sea was shared strongly by my mum. Together they spent much time going out to nearby islands, camping, fishing, and their beloved 26-footer King Neptune. While my dad's first true love was my mum Marion, and then us as a family, and a loyal, steadfast BP Fuels employee, it can be said that Dad's third true love was always being out at sea, with the sea breeze in his face, fishing and spending time on his beloved King Neptune. Over the years, Dad won many awards, both local, regional and state, for his deep sea fishing expertise. It was only fitting when Dad retired at age 60 that he would spend more and more of his time on sea. Sadly, we lost our beloved mum, his main fishing companion, 5 years ago. Sadly, it's only fitting now that Harry died doing what he loved, and now he is again reunited with his fishing companion and one true love, Marion. That lovely eulogy was written by Tempest. Thank you. Now for a reading by Harry's best friend and mate, Franco Perkins. Franco will be reading Gone Fishing by Delmar Pepper. Thank you, Franco, for that reading. Now we'll have the tributes. First, by his sons, Adrian, Christian, and Eric. And then if any of the other guests would like to come forward and offer a tribute, please come forward. You're most welcome. Thank you for all those tributes, for that reminiscing and the fondness of your words for Harry. That is really appreciated. Given Harry's love and joy derived from fishing, it's only appropriate that we farewell Harry. We take the opportunity to drape his cask in fishing lures, fishing rigs, or cut out fish. These wonderful brightly coloured paper fish have each been cut out and made by Harry's 4 grandsons. For those who wish to take part, please take the opportunity to walk in this front area here, come through clockwise, grab either a fishing lure or a paper fish, or if you've got your own, bring your own. Come up, we'll walk clockwise around, and then we'll come out that way. Thank you. Harry loved his fishing, and he was happiest out at sea, with the sea breeze in his face, on his boat King Neptune, with his dearly beloved Marion by his side. Now with his lures, rigs, and paper fish, Harry is now ready to be again by Marion's side. Please stand as we say the words of the committal. While Harry's fishing here on earth was abruptly cut short, while we hoped he may have been here with us longer, Harry is now reunited with his beloved fishing and life partner Marion. Harry's life, and indeed it together with Marion, goes on, and his legacy created with Marion is seen in the faces of his children and grandchildren. This time of physical parting is going to be the most difficult time of all. Now we say our last goodbye to Harry. Do not just feel grief of his death, but also feel gratitude for his life well lived, and the special privilege each and every one of us had in sharing it with him. Lovingly and tenderly we return his body to the elements from which it came. We are glad Harry lived. We are glad that we saw his face and felt the pressure of his hand. We cherish the memory of his family life and his place in history. We cherish his friendship and most of all his love. as his casket is now lowered, and we now pass on our final goodbye as he is reunited with his beloved Marion, his parents Phyllis and Ronald, and his sister Joyce. Again, on behalf of the family, thank you everyone for being here to celebrate the life of Harry. As per the service booklets, the wake is being held 5:30 p.m. at the Port Hedland Game Fishing Club at number 12 Mackay Street, Port Hedland. Everyone is most welcome to attend. Thank you all for helping us to celebrate, and farewell our beloved son, brother, husband, father and grandfather, Harold Harry George Smith. Thank you.